Happy Sunday here in Maryland. Welcome to Today at the Races. Hi, guys. Callie Francois here along with Keith Fusel, of course, to wrap up your weekend. Keith, we had quite a day yesterday. Rudy Sanchez, Solomon, and J-Ron Barbosa both getting 2, and then Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez both getting 3. Couple prices as well. In Remembering Wilbur, $20.20. Let's also talk about Burks, $18.20. And On the Mark for Joanne Schenkel, 12-1, 26.60.
I commented you after the race.
You
On
did.
the Mark, I had this horse lined at 3-1.
Correct. You did.
I'm not an awful morning line maker. I think I do an okay job. That was just remarkable for me. I think the horse might have had the last 2 buyer figures pairing up were as good or better than anybody in the field. And that's kind of the first thing a lot of people will look at. Maybe it was Monterey, and Schenkel flying still a little bit under the radar, but we know
Right.
she's assistant for Salomon, or they
Yep.
do a lot of work together. But yeah, I could not believe that the horse sat just off the pace and made that grinding run to get up. Hopefully you had it. That was crazy. And I tell you another horse earlier, Remembering Wilbur,
Yep.
went off at too high of a price at 9-1. We had some good payouts. We did catch that early pick 4, decent little
did.
return.
There we go.
Nothing spectacular. The late pick 5 was over 10,000 yesterday, Callie. We had them all there. All those winners were within our picks.
Right.
A little bit of mix and match going on. And we had Going to Lead as a best bet, so you could have trimmed some spots.
Right.
But, man, that was an incredible payout for that late pick 5, I thought, just for the fact, On the Mark, no way should that horse been played at a 12-1 shot. No way.
Right, I agree. I had that one underneath, as did you, I think. And, nice running, nice racing. And hopefully we'll continue a little bit of that here today as we wrap up on this weekend. Of course, let's take a look and see how things are looking outside. The track is pretty much dried up. There's still a little bit, I would gather, just to take just a touch. That's kind of also almost incomprehensible, but still, nonetheless, a fast track. A little bit of wind, but warming up a little bit, Keith.
Yeah, we definitely had that wind yesterday. Wind dated to kind of put in your notes for down the road. A lot of, down the backside. You through the backstretch, wind dated, and then they ran into that headwind through the stretch. So take that into consideration. So you saw some of those quicker opening quarters and halves yesterday, slowing down a little bit through the stretch, but nonetheless some good efforts on display. I think out of all the horses, I thought Burks, that run that he made, super sharp run for Ness, and J-Rod just rolling right along. Good day for Monterey too.
It was a great day.
Yep.
It was a great day. Ness, like I said, Ness, Monterey, Barbosa, and Sanchez, all having Sanchez, Solomon, all having just a lovely Saturday. So we'll see what they bring up here on Sunday, and let's go ahead and kick things off in this first race that does start the early pick 5. In this claiming 10,000 for the girls 4 years old and upward, which have never won 2, going around 6 furlongs here on the dirt. And let's go ahead and talk about your top selection. We got a Keith Fusel stat on Classic Lynn for Carlos Mencia and Angel Cruz.
Right off the bat here, race 1, last 3 years, Carlos Mencia 6 for 26, 23%, 12 for 26 in the money of these dirt sprints, third off this type of level, 60 to 180 days. ROI, it's a good one, 303. Classic Lynn, we're going to get Angel Cruz today. Barbosa, who was named on this one as well in the overnight ops for Backstreet Affair. But Classic Lynn, I think her best race, albeit it was an off-the-turf event, Callie, was sprinting on the main track. A couple horses come out of there and done okay. I think last time out, it was the start. It was the use early that just took everything out of her into that slower pace. I think she has a chance to sit somewhere in mid-pack and ramp up a rally against this group with a slight drop in class.
We also have you underneath with the number 4 HOV lane, scratched yesterday to run today for Kenny Cox, Charlie Marquez. Right now, you're 2-1 favorite. We'll see if that plays up a little bit as we get closer to it. But this horse just knocking on a win.
Absolutely. 3 straight seconds, running well, tracking the pace, moving into the pace, and holding on. Turning back in distance today, I don't think the 6 furlongs an issue. I think you might see conductance send out early from the inside, but a prompting trip here for HOV lane. Just needs a little lady luck here to get over the top and get that second lifetime win. We got a video on Backstreet Affair's last race at the mile behind HOV lane. And Backstreet Affair, you're going to see the comment we've got in the Equibase programs, the daily race from weighted upper stretch. Angled out and angled in, and gets a good position here. Nibbles, who won yesterday, right? So out of a little bit of a key race, sitting just about right, ready to go. But Unfortunately, you've got a couple horses moving back from behind her. It's got a little
Right.
bit maybe ramped up with that momentum, Cal, and she has to just kind of get stalled in a little bit of traffic there.
Needed somewhere to go.
Yeah, needed somewhere to go, leaving the quarter pole, and just can't quite kick on. Willing enough to the wire, though, for me to warrant a shot on the turn back again with Barbosa today.
Absolutely.
We'll switch of riders. Cruz rode this one, and a guy goes to Classic Lynn. So we're moving all over the place. But I'll key around Mancia's horse here, Classic Lynn, in the opener.
There we go. Keith Fusel, 3-4-7-2 there in the opener here for Sunday's racing. Race number 2, of course. Again, all about Keith at the start of the day for Sunday. He's got his early pick 4 for you guys, and he hit it yesterday. Keith, let's see your structure.
Carried over, guaranteeing a little profit for the weekend. But yeah,
There we go.
$12 ticket, and everything's going to hinge. A lot of stuff's going to hinge if we get through this first race on Free Square. But yeah, let's get you started with the 2, 4, and 5. Dialing Dixie. Bernie's on Fire will be the favorite, I would think. Off of a break, is able to kind of, probably show that speed and prompt the issue of Dialing Dixie. Race 3, single, Free Square. Scratch the 2, Flaming East, the other Lacey runner, and scratch the 6, Nash Vegas, out of race number 3. Race 4, 2 deep. With the 2, Gabriel's Wings, and the 5, Lord Utread. There's that Ness Rodriguez combination. Race 5, 3, 5, 7, 8. I like Pelota. I think I might have made this one of my better bets of the day.
I
right?
do like this. I like this structure.
Ness and Rodriguez again. But I still think, I'm going to just save a little bit, put a couple other horses in there, and just go with a very manageable $12 ticket.
There we go. Let's see if you can hit it again as you did yesterday, Keith. And it does start in this claiming 5,000 for the 4-year-olds, going 5.5 on the dirt. Keith, you and I both have the same one on top. Bernie's on fire for Jerry Robb and Xavier Perez, and why not? A winner in the last 2. First, off of a little bit of a break, was entered on January 13th, but was a vet scratch for the same level here today.
Yeah, 114-day break. But I tell you, he's going to be, I think, fine today with a good break. I like the draw outside of the speed of Dialing Dixie, who I think will hang around better than what he did in that starter last time out. He's going to go ahead and go. He's got the recency. So Bernie's on fire. He better hadn't be rusty because Dialing Dixie is quick. He might get away, but I like this position. I think he can go ahead and just hound that pace setter and edge on by through the stretch.
Absolutely. Let's delve into Dialing Dixie a little bit more clearly and need the lead type as a little bit with Bernie's on fire as well. But dropping back down to this claiming 5, trying to give a little bit of a shot. And last time we saw this one at the claiming 5, while it was a track with a little bit of moisture that might carry over still a little bit, while this is still a fast track today, it has a little bit of a better chance here in the drop down.
No doubt, I believe so. Mojo Cat's another one looking to get back. I don't know what happened at Penn. It wasn't good at all.
Right.
But a horse that can chase and kind of stay around against this group. A couple of these other horses had positions off of duels in recent starts and weren't able to kick on. So I think the speed and the stamina. Dialing Dixie's been a fighter, and so is Bernie's on fire. Those two, they could definitely control things around the racetrack.
Keith Fusel goes 4-2-5-3 there in the first leg of the of the early pick 4, but as I was getting to it, race number 3 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a carryover just under 9,000. Of course, that's going to be over 9,000, hopefully closer to 10. Definitely closer to 10 by the time we get to race number 3, and I have a ticket clearly. Race number 4, I have no idea what's going on.
Look at you.
I go a bit wide. I don't know how you see it, but for me, still a little bit of a head scratcher. I know Lord Utread, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, obvious go-to for, but you just never know with a couple of these jumping up, a couple of these kind of staying at the same level. So just, again, I couldn't get a hold of it. I'm sure a lot of you others have a little bit better hold of it, but let's go on to race number 558. My top selection is Bronco Maria. We've got a video coming up later on that one. Race number 6 is my single in the 4 with Miss Casey. Why not? Just missed out last time out. Hopefully we'll not have any issues, and we'll have a bit of a smoother trip today. Race number 7, 3, and 5. I go with Magic Mule on top with Particular underneath. And then race number 8, I go 1, 2, 4, 6 in that nightcap for $38.40 ticket. Keith, what are your thoughts?
You're all over the map.
I am. I absolutely,
what I think.
absolutely.
I'm punch drunk just looking at that.
I'm not going to disagree with you. This is this is what Sunday Scaries
Okay.
are. That's the definition of what Sunday Scary is. So $38.40 ticket. Of course, take your structure whichever way you want to take it. Race number 3, that Rainbow Pick 6 starts in the starter optional 12-5 going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 2 Flaming East and scratch in the 6 Nash Vegas. Keith, you and I both land on free square for Lacey Gaudet and Bryson Butterfly trying at it again. Just missed out last time.
Yeah, just sitting good trips too, and running really, really big. This horse returned to Lacey. Was a little bit keyed up and keen going long, but found the magic hole card here sprinting. Is able to take the rating for Butterfly. Lad needs a handler, very quick pit stop man. These two, I think, will get engaged around the turn. Sitting there ready to strike will be free square.
There we go. And then we also both have Montauk Daddy and just on the inside Pit Stop Man in our exact Norman Cash. I almost put this one on top just because I was still, despite the fact that this is a need the lead type, still liked what I saw. But I think this one likes a little bit of that inside pressure, getting pressure from the outside, and certainly going to be getting it with Montauk Daddy with horses like Free Square as well.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, shorter field, some quick horses, but I like the form. And one thing I looked up, Lacey, with these horses, like incrementally, these little stepping stones, 3 in a row, ascending numbers. She's good. They hold the form, and I think this one will hold true again today.
Race number 4 is a claiming 20 going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Let's talk about Lord Uhtred, who you both you, myself, and Tim Tulloch have this one on top. Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, much discussed horse talked about on both of our tickets. Just one at the claiming 12-5 level, jumps up to 20 today. Yeah,
29% the last 3 years when jumping up. This 50% or more kind of in the claiming price. It's a good trip. This horse relaxed. Got away with an easier pace last time. You see the short comment. Ask upper stretch had more. Yeah, there's some speed down inside. I think this horse is going to go ahead and just settle just off of it. Doesn't need to duel. The one will go ahead and send this horse from New York who had that speed on a track that carried speed on that sloppy sealed surface up there. I think Lord Uhtred will be good enough to kind of prompt it and go away. Visually to the wire was good last time.
Right, there we go. Let's talk about who you have underneath Gabriel's wing. I had this one on my ticket. See, okay, there we go. That makes me feel a little bit better. I thought about having this one on my ticket. Ollie Figgins, Fetty Peltro coming in from Charlestown. The last time this horse was considered at Laurel Park back in the 27th of November. Did have a little bit of moisture in the track, was a steward scratch, and then won next time out after that entry at a maiden special weight at Charlestown.
Yeah, that was a good field. I mean, Arby's the boss. We know that. That's a Damon run around here and been competitive. So that's probably the best group that any of these horses kind of, save for Lord Uhtred, kind of going back against the likes of Prince of Jericho. But recency, good. Java's Nation's all right up there. I think like stakes placed. So made the move, was caught a little wide, then fanned wide, and still tried to the wire. This one could sit just off the speed and make a move into it.
There we go. You also have at number 6, Bo Ruff, Damon Deal DeVico, J-Ron Barbosa. See, there are plenty of interesting horses here in this field other than the horse that's kind of the dead giveaway. But 8-1, I like the price on the morning line on Bo Ruff right now.
I think you should get 6 or 8-1. The number's a little light compared to some of these other horses. Yes, the barn's very good off the claim, but I think this is a little bit of a move up. He's going to have to show a rating gear. I don't think he wants to get involved early. He was closer. I think he's going to be a little bit further back, but hopefully takes the rating, can finish.
And we'll find out about the rest of this race card after this commercial break.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels.
And they're off.
And we're back again for the rest of this race card, starting in race number 5 in this claiming 10,000, which have never won 3. Going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, let's start talking about your best bet of the day. Pillow top for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez. I guess we're looking for another bang out day for them like they had yesterday. But coming over from Parks after a decently long campaign from Parks. Last time this one was considered for Laurel back in, just scrolling through it, the 27th of November was a trainer scratch on that day, but it has mostly been running at Parks.
Yeah, and has been burning money at Parks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races in a row. I've got this horse line too high.
Okay.
It could end up the way Ness has been going to Rodriguez, 2-1, 5-2. I don't know if I take anything less, but a good effort over this racetrack. You talked about it. You're going back to October against the likes of Cozy's Wildcat. A couple of those horses at Parks were okay. I'm looking at some of the speed in this race, stronger than Dex. Maybe Sutton Valley, get involved early, get engaged early. Pelota looks too tight to me. Rodriguez, he's not scared to kind of just draft up inside. I think he'll work out that kind of trip and bring a finish. The Bayern number 40, that just doesn't really relate to this guy. I think he's going to make a major bounce back the way this barn's going. Every horse is live. So I think we can trust in Pelota today, make a good run off the pace.
There we go. Let's talk about your exacta in the number 7. Heads or tails for Bob Placeres with Horacio Caramanos. What's this vet scratch last time out on the 12th of February? Returns from a subpar a subpar effort back on the 10th of December where Bob claimed this horse.
Yeah, reclaim. Reclaim,
Yes.
It was in very good form, has run very good races for Caramanos against the likes of Jerry's Gem, stalking and moving in a horse like that. I guess the question mark is the drop now. The reclaim and the drop is a little scary here for me, but I don't want to get beat by this horse in multi-race wagers. Your top selection, Bronco Maria. We can look at this one. This one wants a little flow in front of him and see if he can ramp things up like he did on February the 12th. Against these same kind of horses. They're stronger than Dex and Sutton Valley. Again, we'll see those two maybe team up again around the turn. Shifting very wide there in about the 6th or 7th path is Bronco Maria. It's just grinding it out, Kelly. I think he's got the looks to me of being a better one-run kind of a grinding sprinter than he is going long. So I think that's what he's going to get today, a little bit of flow, and shift out and try to make that run in the clear.
I agree. Also, an early change to the outside lead at the elbow of that turn there when I noticed that Bronco
Good
Maria
pickup.
went a bit wide. But J.D. Acosta in the saddle for this one. And as you say, with J.D. riding and kind of needs to be a grinding router, that plays. That works very well here as far as a matchup goes. So I do like Bronco Maria, which is one of the things I did pick up in my selection.
All right, very good.
There we go. Keith Fusel 3785 there in race number 5. Race number 6 is a starter optional claiming 12.5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls 4 years old and up. Keith, you have the number 2 on top behind the couch. You got some faith in the Salzman senior runner with Jamie Rodriguez in the saddle for the first time.
Giving up with the IFB, so that thing's staying out the rest of the day. You're sitting there wondering, everybody's going to, my man Tasty Cake Dave, he's going to say, why you keep playing with your ear? You keep playing with your ear.
Yeah.
There you go, Tasty Cake Dave. That's why it's at. Behind the couch, I like her today. I think she just finally sits into the right kind of field to sit. She'll take the rating early. A couple times you see that snug hold. She'll sit behind inside. There's J-Rod again, man. I got a lot of horses with him today to go ahead and just prompt the pace. Miss Casey certainly off the last race was very good. Icy Reply and Miner's Gem, I think they might keep her company, and this one will be lurking from just off of it.
And then you have the number 4 underneath, which I have on top. My single on my ticket, Miss Casey for Claudio Gonzalez, Luis Rivera Jr. Just missed out last time out, but super, super game filly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to like the recent efforts, right? I mean, nothing bad here since early December. Right up with the pace, has gotten better breaking from the gate, right? Has had some issues coming out of the gate. Looks like she's kind of got that settled. She's going to move up, and she's going to battle here, poke ahead in front, turning for home. Awesome View just a little too good. They carry this battle from the 3/16 home. She's in good form. She'll hold it again today. Again, the flow could be a little bit more demanding if a horse like Miner's Gem breaks second off the break. But I think she's got to be a user in your exactas and tries.
Absolutely. So why not go ahead and use her? You also have the number 6 underneath, Lady Jean. Tell me about your, because I couldn't quite get a handle on Lady Jean. Is it just the drop down for you?
I think she's fine against this group. She's a little bit behind Miss Casey, you saw in that video. Second off the claim's been okay for this barn, about 15% over the last couple years. And things get contested, and she can definitely make a run. She has an issue of a little flattening. Maybe she's a little bit better at 5.5, but she might work in here underneath.
Keith Fusel goes 2, 4, 6, 3 there in the 6. Race number 7 is an allowance going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Let's go ahead and take a look at your top selection. Top Boss for David Mohan gets Javian Toledo again in the saddle.
Yeah, Top Boss going great guns right now. I mean, big effort last time, 78 buyer on a day where the track, played pretty advantageous to speed, okay? I mean, you usually want to be up with it. Speed carried on the 18th. The Top Boss, you may look at this horse's form and say, okay, stepping up, going into the A other than. I go back 4 races back, Cal. It's just dead game to the wire. Free Square, who we're going to see again, and making that final lunge just to come up short.
Yeah.
Horses like, Aristocrat, these horses can run in 2 other than. So I think this is almost a step sideways for Top Boss. I like the recent form. I think he's a pace factor throughout again.
Magic Mule stepping up to the plate a little bit in these recent starts. You have him in your exacta. My top selection for Kerry Holbein, Kevin Gomez, injecting a little bit of fire back into this horse off of the rail in both past races that I just talked about. Now gets a little bit of a help with an outside post.
I think Magic Mule, we're rooting for Kerry Holbein to get this first win, right? And he's run a couple races too good to lose, a couple heartbreaking defeats. I think he'll revert, be okay. Captain Quinn on that day on the 12th was a loop and swoop kind of a winner.
Right.
He's got enough speed to stay within range and tuck up behind the speeds. I think he's going to be fine and bounce back to like a mid-70 kind of a buyer, which I think you're going to need to win this race.
Anything on BB Bad with Miguel Rodriguez and Angel Cruz?
Out of a fast race at Parks, I went back and looked. There were some good horses. The winner is a 10-time winner, Easy Day. Pace not that demanding early and just couldn't quite make that impact. If things heat up a little bit more here today, Yeshley, BB Bad has got experience over this racetrack. I definitely think he's going in the right direction and can fire from off the pace. The question mark horse for me is the 3, particular. You've got this horse second. I was talking to my buddy Joe Guest coming down here. He said, what about particular? I said, look, he looks like he's got the talent, bought for $300,000, looked like a horse that could have been any kind. His second race in his career was against a really good group. You see, Creative Minister, other horses. So that was a salty group. Give him plenty of time. Comes back an interesting spot on the synthetic at Turfway and runs really, really good. I love that comment. Strong run, gutsy to the wire.
Yep.
Good job, Matt Metz down there at Turfway Park, one of our fine chart callers that we have for Equibase. But particular, yeah, he's got speed. Does he want to get involved with Top Boss? I don't know. But if this talent just kind of keeps on coming out, he might have the ability to sit and move into it and pounce and get that first run.
And that's what I'm taking a chance on. I'm really just going, I said to myself, listen, this horse can clearly handle the dirt from that first time out effort. I gave him an excuse with that type of field. And on top of that, just broke in. The break was a little bit of a mess. Essentially got wrapped up a little bit in that second time effort. Trombetta picks him up and then gets him back off of the layoff in really, really nice form and fashion. So I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on particular. And race number 8, our last race here of the weekend here in Maryland, is a maiden claiming 12.5, going 2 turns, a mile and 16th on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the number 6 on top, snooze button for Hugh McMahon on the outside with Jamie Rodriguez.
I like that name. That's what I wanted to hit today multiple times. I was up binge watching Your Honor, on the Showtime stuff. Boy, good series. That's good stuff. But snooze button, I went back and watched this race. Had a little trouble in the turn. Flashed some speed against Better, and Whistle was the first of them, and really big that way that day. Took a funky step when switching leads, leaving the far turn. It just kind of got discombobulated. Dropped back, dropped inside, and that was kind of it. But I saw a little bit of effort, to the wire. You got a couple mile works under the belt. Hugh McMahon likes doing that. He's been okay stepping horses, up in distance. These mates, I think that it's going to be let's go from the outside with snooze button. Showed that speed against a faster group in a big field. That was a big field. Back to only 5 other challengers here today. let's go to the front snooze button. Let's be alert and ready to go and see if we can walk the dog.
I like that play on words. You also have the number 4 underneath in your exact goal. Digging broad for Mike Trombetta gets Angel Cruz here today. Gonna need to step it up. We need to see some shot of life here.
Thought that was going to definitely run better last time. Did
Right.
not. Another chance, another one heading down to the bottom. So we'll see. Arrogant Stream, it looked like the proven horse to go ahead and get the distance. Grass Cutter did it a little bit better last time. Bayer looked like it needed a little bit better, but he's
Right.
got experience. These two from the inside, they've got that route experience under their belt. I don't know, but like I said, I'm keying around the 6 in the last race.
Okay, there we go. Keith Fusel goes 6-4, 1-2. Let's head on over to the lightning round and dig a little bit deeper into these best bet and value plays. Keith, give it a whirl.
Yeah, Pelota, we talked about it. I think I got a bad line there, 92. I had a bad one yesterday, but I hope you took advantage of it because you got $26. I mean, that's the other thing we talk about on the show. When we're giving out these selections, a lot of times, I'm going to most of the time tell you if I like my top selection, a lot. So we're talking box the picks. And if you can find any kind of value in those 4 selections, bet a couple dollars to win. Do that. I mean, that's the way to go about it. We're laying it out there for you. Same thing with pick 5 yesterday. What did they pay? $10,000. So follow along. I have a little faith. But I think Pelota getting back, you're going to try here in Maryland. You'll see this horse ramp back up. Beaten favorite, 4 or 5 in a row, I think might just come through today. And may not be the favorite.
We'll see. We'll see. What's your value play?
Value play. I couldn't, again, snooze button 7-2. I don't know if you can really call that value. Maybe we can get 3-1, 4-1. I didn't have a lot of higher price horses on this race card today, Callie. But yeah, let's see. I think this horse a little drop. I think you'll see some speed and try to control it.
Keith Fusel putting it down for you to just pick it up with his best bet and value play of the day. Let's wrap up these Renaissance Award winners, which these are awards that I really appreciate. The Backstretch Worker of the Year at Pimlico is Ricardo Martinez, who has been working for Kieran McGee since 2008. So quite a while with the McGee barn, just about 15 years, but he's been working there ever since. A native of Mexico, he was involved with horses that participated in match races in his home country. He indicated he appreciates working for the McGee stable. He says everybody works as a team here, and what I really like is bringing the horses to the races and then watching them when the hard work has paid off. One of his favorite horses is Keep Your Distance, who won 21 races, 11 of them here in Maryland, and earned more than $552,000 in her career. So congratulations to Ricardo Martinez with the McGee team on the Pimlico backside. And the Laurel backside is Martin Heiber, who is a hot walker for Rodney in the Jenkins barn for the past 7 years. Heiber, who soon to be 61, has been a hot walker for the Jenkins, but his father owned racehorses before he was even born, and he grew up spending time around horses, of course. He received his first Maryland Racing Commission license in 1980 and worked with his father on a breeding farm at Marlborough, but he was a jockey as well.
Yeah.
He rode through 1994, and in 1988 he won 32 races, primarily at Delaware Park in Charlestown. His personal highlight was winning 3 races and finishing second in 4 mounts at Marlborough, which at that time only had 1 or 2 racing days a year. So with him, what's important to him is just being around the horses. He's lived in Bowie, Upper Marlborough, Landover, and Chesapeake Beach in Maryland. But when he is out and he misses a few days, he just doesn't feel right. So he needs to be back in the barn and working for Eveline and, of course, Mr. Jenkins. So thank you so much for everything that you've done, Ricardo and Martin, for our backside.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, you need these people on the backstretch. Recognition that they really deserve. And that was a good point you made about, the gentleman working for Kieran. I mean, you guys like that. You want to see consistency. That's why the barns consistently do well year in and year out. It's a good team. It's a team that, they can trust each other, and that's gonna help you out in the long run. It's going to carry on and give you some victories. Absolutely.
Team amongst both Pimlico and Laurel, thank you so much. And for all of the backstretch workers, just a big thanks. But congratulations to Ricardo and Martin. And we're going to give it away to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right. Good luck, everybody.